Welcome back to another video on Star Wars Squadrons. I'm Shadow Coast and welcome to my channel. In this video, we'll be discussing my projected best Tie-Interceptor build using one of the Squadrons tool builders. I'm posting this video before the game releases and will be posting additional videos once I test out my builds in-game. Before I jump to my build, I'm trying to grow my channel, so please consider subscribing and dropping this video a thumbs up. Also, please check out the description for links to my Tie-Interceptor build and other information I reviewed to create this video. The Tie-Interceptor is my third favorite Imperial starfighter after the TIE Defender and TIE Hunter, which will not be in Squadrons, at least not at launch. A little bit of lore on the Tie-Interceptor, which made its first appearance in the Star Wars universe in Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, which is one of my top 2 Star Wars favorite movies. The Interceptor was produced shortly after the Battle of Yavin, when it became apparent the Imperial Navy needed a better starfighter to combat the rebels. Overall, the TIE Interceptor is effectively an improved version of the TIE Fighter with a focus on increased speed, maneuverability, and firepower with 6 laser cannons instead of the TIE Fighter's 2. Effectively, they designed the Interceptor specifically to take out enemy starfighters. Now for my best projected build, I went with what I call a Predator build, which focuses on acceleration and maneuverability with a hint of stealth and decent damage output. Will effectively pounce on unsuspecting targets, quickly taking them out before fading back into the distance. For weapons, I'm opting for the standard Signer LS1 laser cannons, which output a decent amount of damage and have longer range than the other options that appear to be available. These lasers do not necessarily excel in any specific area, but appear to be the best bang for your buck for damage output to range. For example, the other options require much closer range of 600 meters instead of the 1000. For countermeasures, I ended up picking the Signer Sensor Jammer, which allows us to lose locked-on missiles and prevents enemies from temporarily locking onto us. While this has a longer cooldown, the thought process is to leverage the power converter to amp up a speed boost while the sensor jammer provides us the few seconds we need to speed out of any dangerous situation. On to auxiliaries. For our first auxiliary, I opted for the anti-starfighter missiles with a focus on taking out enemy fighters. While some of the other missiles do a bit more damage, the relatively quick lock-on ability combined with our speed will hopefully allow us to burn down enemies and then bug out. For our second auxiliary, I ended up selecting the emergency repair system. Given the TIE Interceptor does not have any shielding, the repair system is critical to increase survivability during engagements. I did entertain the targeting jammer that allows us to hide from enemy radars, but it seems like this might work better against enemy AI ships versus actual other human players. I'll be testing this out in game and can provide an update later on. For our hull selection, I really like the idea of the reflect hull, which prevents enemies from targeting us at long range, but does sacrifice some hull integrity and health. If this works like I think it will help us speed in, output damage, and speed out our range before the enemies have time to respond. Finally, for engines, I'd be hard-pressed not to pick the twin propulsion engines, which are the bread and butter of the TIE Interceptor design. Increased acceleration should allow us to turn higher Gs and outmaneuver enemy starfighters. As you can see, my Predator build is doubling down on the glass cannon concept, high damage output with high maneuverability and acceleration built in. Let me know what you think in the comments, and please consider supporting the channel by subscribing and throwing this video a thumbs up. I hope to see you in Squadrons soon. Shadow Coast out.